there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Day to Day, the podcast where we explore the joys and challenges of everyday life. I'm Emma.
And I'm Alex. Whether it's personal growth, navigating relationships, or just tackling the chaos of the day, we're here to talk about it all and hopefully help you along the way.
So grab your coffee, tea, or whatever keeps you going.
And let's dive into today's episode. So, today we're diving into a truly fascinating topic. Something many of us have probably experienced but maybe haven't quite put a name to, the concept of long-term deep liking. It's a kind of affection that sticks around, even through years of separation. Intriguing, right?
Absolutely, there's something incredibly sweet and also a bit mysterious about liking someone over such a long period, even when life takes you in different directions. It's not quite friendship, not quite romance, but something uniquely enduring.
Exactly. And this was sparked by a message we received from someone who reconnected with an old childhood friend. After years apart, they found that their feelings hadn't faded. If anything, their appreciation for the person had grown. So what makes us feel this way, even when time and distance are involved?
One way to understand it is through something called long-term deep liking. It's about appreciating someone for who they truly are, their core attributes, and not just a fleeting attraction or need for companionship. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's like savoring a favorite song or meal. No matter how many times you've experienced it, you still love it just as much, if not more, because of its essence. And here's the kicker. It doesn't depend on having the person in any traditional sense.
Right, it's more about who the person is at their core, like their thoughtfulness, kindness, or even just their way of seeing the world. Long-term deep liking doesn't need constant presence. Sometimes just the knowledge they exist and are doing well is enough.
I find that really powerful. This kind of liking lets someone become a kind of mental anchor or a comfort zone. It's like a warm blanket during cold times. Not always covering you, but always there when you need it.
And interestingly, it doesn't require the perfect Hollywood story arc. Long-term deep liking can thrive without consistent interaction and doesn't demand change in either person. It's very much about admiring the intrinsic qualities of the other person.
So what leads to this kind of deep appreciation in the first place? I mean, at the beginning, there's often that striking moment of clicked attraction. Something about them just draws you in, even if you can't quite pin it down, right?
True, it often starts with a particular trait that attracts us, like their laugh, the way they approach problems, or maybe even how they carry themselves under pressure because it resonates with our values. But over time, as you know them more deeply, it transforms into profound admiration.
Exactly. It grows from that initial burst of admiration into something composed of different emotional threads, like affection, respect, and comfort. It's a complex interweaving that doesn't easily come apart.
And it's interesting because our appreciation often ends up reflecting our own ideals or what we aspire to be. We find in them the qualities we admire and perhaps wish to cultivate in ourselves.
Like picking up on their resilience or kindness and adopting it, because in some ways, being around them helps expand our own personality. It's such a fascinating push-pull of emotions, don't you think?
Absolutely. And that's another layer to this liking, seeing them almost as a mirror, reflecting back at us the best versions of ourselves. It's validation and inspiration all rolled into one engaging connection.
So, what benefits does this liking bring us, besides the obvious warm fuzzies? I've heard it can actually encourage positive life changes, like self-improvement and motivation.
Yes, it can. Our admiration can propel us to reach higher, maybe by exploring areas of personal growth or even taking risks we wouldn't have considered otherwise. Having someone to look up to in this way provides a kind of gentle prodding towards betterment.
Plus, it can also be a source of resilience during tough times. Just the thought of this person can lighten your mood or even give you the strength to face challenges head on.
There's this idea of a social emotional tether, a connection that offers subtle yet profound emotional support just by knowing someone respects and cherishes you for who you are.
And let's not forget about learning and growing from each other. We tend to embody traits from those we admire, often unknowingly, through something akin to social mirroring.
Yes, exactly. We see them as role models and start picking up their habits, adopting traits that resonate with us. It could be something as simple as a turn of phrase or as complex as tackling challenges with new perspectives.
Long-term deep liking really is a powerful force, huh? It's like this emotional tapestry that weaves together admiration, reflection, and resilience, all while allowing us to remain authentic and true to ourselves.
That's such a beautiful way to put it. It reminds us that being liked isn't about perfection, but about owning our unique quirks and traits. Perhaps that's the most empowering takeaway from all this.
So true. And for anyone wondering how to cultivate this kind of lasting appreciation from others, being aware of and amplifying your unique traits seems to be key.
Yes, discovering your unique attributes, embracing them, and allowing them to shine rather than conforming to social molds is vital. It's about genuine self-expression, which naturally draws others in.
It transcends far beyond traditional notions of love and companionship, doesn't it? In its purest form, it's about appreciating someone without conditions or changes.
And that just might be what makes it so rare and precious. In a world full of expectations and social demands, finding someone you simply appreciate for who they are can be truly refreshing.
All right, let's end on that thought. To everyone listening, think about those connections in your own lives, those deep likes that have weathered time. Maybe reach out or reflect on what makes them so special.
Yes, embrace those relationships and cherish them for their authenticity. Whether it's a friend, family member, or even someone you look up to, nurturing these deep connections can be life-changing.